to the Charmed Web Show. I'm your host, Tricia Carr. I'm a medium, animal communicator, empath, and energy healer. On this show, we discuss spirituality, magic, and the unconditional love of the universe. We welcome listener calls to answer spiritual questions and to offer live readings. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Charmed Radio Show, which is also the Charmed Radio podcast. Once it goes, the recorded version goes up on iTunes. And I want to say hello because I'm also on Facebook Live right now. Hello, Facebook Live. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me. I am so honored to be here with you today to talk about the unconditional love of the universe. And today in particular, as the show is aptly named Charmed, I am going to start the discussion about magic. Pardon me, as I clear my throat. I am going to talk today about magical tools, and then I'm going to be taking some calls from you lovely people that are calling in. Oh, bless you so much. I see you coming in on the phone lines, and I just want to give a little bit of a message, and then I will get to connecting with you guys because that is the best thing that I do in life. I mean, honestly, it's the best thing that any of us do in life. Really, we're here for relationships. And what's interesting is that we learn that sometimes by being all alone and meditating and praying and do things that are solitary. That's what actually helps us to remind ourselves that we are here to grow, to expand by relationships. And those relationships are all around us. Today we're going to have some relationships over this internet radio show. When you are in a line at the grocery store, the people that are all around you, that's a relationship as well. So anyway, the relationship I'm going to talk about are relationships that we have with tools, magical tools. And yes, indeed, that is a relationship as well. So magical tools or divination tools, to divine means to bring in energy from the universe, from unconditional love, from that perfection that we are all made of. We are actually made of love. So in that, we are completely inseparable from divine. We are all perfect, and in truth, we are perfectly healed. And I know that sometimes that thought might actually feel painful because you look around and you say, but this is going on in my life and this is painful. But when it gets too much, try to remember that we actually came down to this plane so that we could hide inside the illusion of separation and hide inside the illusion of time and space. That the reason that we chose to do this, to hide, is because by being able to forget the fact that it's all one, that we're all just one and inseparable from divine and perfect unconditional love, by forgetting that and then remembering it of our own accord, oh, well, that's like falling in love. If you just came into this life and you're already in love, then you would never have the experience of falling in love, which, by the way, actually freaks me out. I really, romantic, falling in love romantically. Thank goodness I've been with my husband now for 12 years. I don't have to do that again, that first thing. It's because of, I think, the sensory overload. I'm so sensitive emotionally and physically and every which way. So I just every time that I fell in love throughout my life, like with a new romantic partner, I just got so maxed out, so on edge even, like it freaked me out. And I couldn't tolerate it. I know some people really enjoy the beginning stages of a romantic relationship. I don't. I like after we get in there and we feel more secure. That's just me. I don't know if anybody else feels that way too. Oh, so sorry. I banged my microphone. Back to magical tools. So the reason I wanted to talk about magical tools is, I actually had a conversation with someone on Facebook about a pendulum. And because I had been using a pendulum, one particular pendulum now for, I don't know, several months. I'm not really sure for how long. And it's like we really built a relationship, and I trust the pendulum, and it gives me really accurate, comforting information. And I'm going to go step by step with pendulum. So I hope that's something you all will enjoy. But before I get specific to the pendulum, the other thing that other kinds of magical tools that we can use, I'm showing the camera right now. This is tarot cards, oracle cards, crystals. But besides that, tools are also those relationships I mentioned, and books, teachers, people, students, whoever your students are. You can really put all of that into the category of tools. In reality, we don't need any tools, whether they be these magical divination tools I'm talking about, like pendulum and, cards, or, teachers or books, but we don't really need that in order to expand. But we really, really like it as human beings. I mean, I say we don't need it because you have growth and you bring in, like I say, you're not separated from divine at all. So you have a direct connection. But we are here because we love relationships so much, including the relationships with tools. So you don't need tools, but we love tools. And so that's what we're going to look at. All right. So the important thing to know about tools, though, like let's just focus on those two simple ones like cards or the pendulum, is that the tools themselves are no more magical than you are. And you are just as magical as the tools. And in fact, the tool is really assisting you in engaging in your own magic. So it's interesting to illuminate this. It's good to kind of bring up the negative. So the movies Harry Potter and that TV show Charmed. So they have a lot of things right about magic, but the things that they have wrong about magic is that, let's say, Harry Potter is using a magic wand, and he needs that magic wand, and then he points it at something and the wand does the magic. Well, that's not accurate. The wand doesn't actually do the magic. You do the magic. You are magical, but you're using this tool as basically like a partner, a dancing partner, to help you express yourself as a magical being. Does that make sense? So you don't, that's back to the fact how we don't need it, but we like to engage or have the relationship with them. So just know that you are magic. You are the magic. Now, along those lines, you can actually overuse a tool. And that could be if you're focusing on it too much, you kind of forget that you're the magic, and then you transfer that ownership of magic to the tool. Well, then, your guides or angels will probably get in there a little bit and start to block how that tool is working. Not only that, but the actual tool itself, it's made of the same stuff that you are. It's made of energy. So the tool itself can start to inhibit its own intention to helping you. So it can stop itself. Is that interesting? I hope so. I found it interesting. But the tool can actually set its own intention to stop cooperating with you. I'm not saying that happens all the time. And when it happens, sometimes you feel it very subtly, and then you just put it away for a little while. And you might choose a different tool, and that'll just shake things up for you, help to get you back to center. So let's say, you're using this one deck of cards. Let's say this first one I'm picking up these. Oop, I keep banging the microphone like an amateur. These fairy tarot cards. I'm using them a lot, and I honestly the next day that I use them, I'm like, I'm not really even feeling these. So I kind of get an unclear reading. Well, maybe I can put those down, and then these oracle cards will serve me better. And you just go by your heart. And along those lines, the more you work with a tool, sometimes the more you work with a tool, it's like building a relationship. You are investing your own energy imprint into it and it into you. And so it starts to flow much better. And I think that's what really happened with this pendulum that I've been using. And that's why I was inspired to talk about it on Facebook. Excuse me. All right, let's see. What next? I think now I'll just go on to show a step-by-step of how to use a pendulum. So we're on the radio, but I'm also videotaping this to go on the webcast, and then I'm on Facebook Live. So I'm just going to walk you through it. If you're just on the radio with me, no problem. I'm going to explain to you everything that I'm doing. And then if you want to later on go to my YouTube channel, which is, you're just going to have to search. I'll put it on my Facebook page. Search Tricia Carr and Charmed by Life. You should be able to find it. I'm going to put it on my Facebook page. I'll also put it up on the Blog Talk page. And incidentally, I should mention my website is Tricia Carr Charm. So it's TRICIACARRCHARM.com. And the Facebook page is the same. It's, facebook.com/Tricia Carr Charm. If you'd like to stay on top of when we're doing these shows or any other kind of media that I'm doing, I recommend liking the Facebook page. I'm on Twitter as well, same handle, Tricia Carr Charm. But Facebook really pushes everything to Twitter. So Facebook is like the best way to stay in touch, for me at least. Maybe it's my age. So I'm going to walk you through the pendulum. I think we have a lot of callers, but I'll go ahead and mention the number to call in, although however you found me, the number should be right there. The number is 215-383-3779. Okay, so how to use a pendulum. So first of all, you could buy one if you want to. I just got 2 pieces of material that I already had in the house. So what I have is a chain. It's just a gold chain. It's my husband's that he never wore. And it's actually a ring of his too that's pretty weighty that he never wore. So something like a class ring, like a man's class ring, you know how they have that kind of bigger setting for whatever the stone is. Something that has some nice weight on the chain. You could use a crystal too. And I do sometimes if I don't have this particular pendulum with me and I feel like I want to get some guidance from a pendulum. If I'm wearing a crystal, which actually like what I'm wearing right now, I will show the camera. What I'm wearing right now, this is a nice piece of black tourmaline. And this is a pretty big piece, so it moves a lot slower than the one that has just the ring on it. So anything like that will do, or you can go buy a special one, whatever your preference is. Again, everything is magical, so anything that sort of has that basic composition of a chain with something a little bit weighty on the end. Now, the first thing you want to do is consecrate it, basically. Bind it, some people call it. Pray over it. And I just do a prayer like, please work through this pendulum to bring more love and light to myself and all involved. Please bless it to divine, perfect love. Please allow my mind, my heart, and my consciousness to be open to messages from divine to become more unified with the all. And I'd like to ask angels, all my angels and guides, to be here with me, watch over the pendulum, watch over myself, and work through me to be more greatly connected to divine. And so it is. So what you want to do after that, after you bless it and know that it's blessed, consecrated, it's bound to divine, I hold it just over my hand like this so that there's a little bit of a kind of a conduction from my hand. I hold the chain with my right hand because that's the hand that gives, and then I hold it over the palm, inside palm of my left hand. And then the next thing we're going to do is just ask the pendulum. And you're asking the pendulum, you probably are asking your higher self, you're asking guides, angels, however you're going to be receiving the information. But it's going to be working through pendulum. Just say, please show me what is yes. And while you're doing this, it's already starting to move. And so it's spinning counterclockwise. So what you want to do is I usually anchor my elbow into somewhere so that I can be more, thank you. I'm just going to tell it thank you very much for showing me that yes is counterclockwise. I anchor my elbow in so that I can feel secure that I'm not influencing it. But I'll talk about influencing it in a moment too. And then you just want to say, please show me what is no. And so thank you so much at spinning clockwise. I've been working, like I say, with this pendulum for a while now. And even though, in that, thank you, in that relationship, I know it's been consistently, it goes counterclockwise for yes, clockwise for no, and then it usually swings forward and back. Please show me what is maybe for maybe. And that's what it's doing today. But I still, thank you very much, ask every time because I never know. Maybe there's a different guide that wants to come and show up through the pendulum and maybe they want to use a different pattern. I really have no idea. I'm open to however divine wants to work with me through me. And that's the whole point, is just to feel that unity. So Now, the next thing you want to, and like I say, practice makes perfect. So you can ask all kinds of yes, no, maybe questions. So how do I use it? So one of the ways that I use it is if I feel that I need to do some sort of auric cleaning. So I feel like maybe I have some kind of, attachments or something that's weighing me down. Maybe I've kind of lowered my vibration a little bit because I've been a little, maybe I've been feeling a little heavy, a little negative, a little unmotivated. And so I will just ask. One way, I don't have to do it this way. I could just do it clairvoyantly, but I will just ask, let's see. Can you please tell me if I have any attachments, any demons, anomalies, or entities? Oh, I do. Oh, Mama does. Oh, how fun. Thank you so much. Okay, I do. Well, I'm going to go ahead and remove them now, so we're getting a full lesson. Maybe this is, it's definitely for me, so maybe it'll help someone else out there. Okay. Do I have, now I'm just going to narrow it down. Can you please tell me if I have any demons, attachments? So that's a no. And when I say demons, I really mean more sophisticated, sort of like denser energy collections, rather than, I'm not talking about like something that even exists on all dimensions. I just mean like a big collection of energy that has a little more sophistication. Can you please tell me if I have any entities as attachments? Okay, so I'm getting a no. And that's good. Thank you very much. So an entity is just less sophisticated, The next thing I'm going to ask about are anomalies. Anomalies we kind of think of as like psychic fungus. It's real easy to, to scrape off. So the entity I kind of consider between the demon and the anomaly. It's just how I was taught to categorize it. There's endless ways. It's just language. So can you please tell me if I have any anomalies? And so there's my yes. Okay. Thank you. And so then what I do next is I just say, is it important for me to know how many anomalies I have? Okay, I'm actually getting a no. So I don't even need to know how many there are. And then I'll say, is there anything else I need to know about removing these anomalies? No. It's already telling me no. So if I get yes on any of those questions, then I'll ask something like, so if I get a yes on if it's important to know how many, then I'll say, is there more than one? If I get a yes, are there fewer than 5? And then I narrow it down to, exactly this many. And then I'll ask, if I get a yes on, is there anything else I need to know? Then I will just ask, do I need to know the location? Where they are in my energy field. Do I need to know the texture, the color? Is there anything else? That's all the kind of stuff that I ask. But when you're doing this work, it's important to know that we aren't meant to spend a lot of time or certainly no concern over any of this cleaning that we're doing. Are you that worried when you have a big dust bunny in your house? No, it's no different. It's really no different. And speaking of which, I actually do have a lot of dust bunnies because my housekeeper, it's not her, she went on vacation, and I'm just not as good at keeping my house clean. She only comes every other week, but she's so much better at it. So your physical space, when you need to clean up your energy field, your physical space can be a reflection of it, and vice versa. So it's actually really not that surprising that I have some kind of anomaly. So since we're here, I'm going to go ahead, and if you all want to just walk this through with me, so you can do this with me. And if you, it's completely safe. If you do have any kind of attachment that that needs removing, and then we're going to release it right now. And basically the process is just of raising your vibration. So we're going to raise a vibration, and then you're no longer going to be a frequency match to any of this lower energy. And another thing you can do is just ask Archangel Michael or any of your angels or guides. Archangel Michael is really great at clearing. So Shamiel is really great at that as well. So I am actually going to take a nice breath. Everyone close your eyes. Take a breath with me. That breath is connection to divine. It's our authentic self. It is love. It is bliss. It is our natural state of joy. And so I will just ask Archangel Michael to please clear any lower energy attachments, any collections that would be keeping me in the conscious state of feeling separation from divine, please clear my energy field. I'd like to send this energy out also to all the listeners and to all the callers, and that we may bring more light and love in, raise our vibration up to divine, perfect love. And so now I'm actually just having a look inside my energy field, and I see just a very light, like kind of haze. It's very benign seeming. It's sort of attached to the front of my aura, my energy field. And so I'm just kind of in my mind's eye, I'm drawing a line around it with my hands. My hands are instruments of divine. They're glowing with energy. I'm drawing a line around it and just gently removing it, pushing it out of my energy field. And I'm just letting this collection know that it can go down to Mother Earth and be composted, or to go into the light. And I actually see it going into the light. Going into the light, it is changed to neutral energy, and then we receive the blessing back of this pure, perfect energy, and that rests upon the area where that attachment was, and that light is healing and making whole. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, Archangel Michael, for your assistance, for your healing. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for being our healer. And thank you to all my angels and guides for walking us through this demonstration. Wow, that was amazing. I had no idea that it was going to be that involved today. So I hope you all enjoyed that. So let's get to some calls now. And I was going to take a call from 3685 if she is here. So give me a moment while I look up that phone number, so you know if you haven't called into, here we go. If you haven't called into Blog Talk Radio before, what I see on the switchboard is just phone numbers. So I'm going to I'm going to call out to you by the number that I'm unlocking. And I do find you here, 3685. I'm so sorry, honey. I forgot your name. I'm going to turn you on live now. Wait, let's see. It's not doing it. Ah, there it goes. Hi there. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Sandy.
Hi, Sandy. I'm sorry. I forgot your name there for a minute. I'm just on the air jitters.
That's okay.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Sandy called in yesterday, and I didn't get to her, so she left a comment on my Facebook page, and I told her to let me know what those last four numbers are so that I could call on her first, because she was so sweet and patient, and I really wanted to connect with you today. So what's going on, Sandy? Oh, actually, Sandy, do you mind? I'm just going to remind the audience that when we connect, we can just ask a question and do some kind of spiritual counseling or questioning, like, you know, what happens after we die, or I can do a reading, whether you want to connect with a past loved one or just some kind of reading about, you know, different life, issues and life purpose stuff. So tell me, what are you calling about? You want to do a reading? Okay. So,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Who was ever trying to step up, whether it's a guide or someone from the past.
Okay, great. So let's just get into that. So Sandy, can you tell me your full name just so I can start to tap into your energy?
Sandra Connor, Conner.
Oh, okay, great. So I'm actually it feels as though I'm getting what my friend calls the Holy Spirit shivers. Wow, you have a very, very powerful female, and okay. So this is an ascended master, and I'm just going to ask her if she wants to tell me who she is. And okay, I can't remember how to pronounce this ascended master's name. I think it's Anya, A-I-N-E is how it's spelled, I believe. And as I recall, she's an Irish or a Celtic goddess. Okay, so she's very close to you. She's very, very serious. She is communicating to me this feeling about you, that you have the soul of a warrior, and the divine feminine is very important. Divine feminine feeling like everything that is absolutely strong about being feminine
And she's showing herself to me with like long flowing hair, and I think that's to highlight that femininity. But like I say, very serious, very powerful. And so let me just find out. So she's showing me you walking along your path. I'm seeing a symbol of you walking along the path. And right now the path that you're walking on feels very, it looks like stone, and not in a bad way. It's not dark, but it's very earthy. And you're walking, like that's what you're standing upon right now. And just ahead of you, several paces, like you're walking toward it, is like the stone turns to gold, turns to just illuminated gold. So you're moving, you're in a place where you're exactly where you should be, always. But right now you're in a place where you are feeling, you're being grounded. You are working on the best way to say it maybe, and she's even showing me now, like lower chakra kind of grounding, which to me is telling me because you're an extremely sensitive person. Do you know that you're an empath or a highly sensitive person, Sandy?
Oh, yes.
You're an empath?
I am an empath, yeah.
You're an empath. Okay. So that's what's making sense to me. So I'm an empath as well, as you probably read on, my site or whatever. So as an empath, so you're in the area, it feels like you have been working on those first three chakras. And those first three chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, they're really important for empaths to be anchored in. It's important for everyone. But as empaths, because the sacral chakra is the seat of emotions, it's so important for us to heal and make whole and illuminate and even like stay really anchored in that sacral chakra. And working on all three at the same time. So if you are able to like work on sacral chakra issues and then up to solar plexus, which is self-identity, self-esteem, then working on that in tandem with sacral will, because it's the higher chakra, will actually heal sacral as well and strengthen it. And then, as an empath, you don't have a problem with your heart being open. You absolutely have no problem with that. But being able to have your heart open in the right way really comes from the grounding in the lower chakra. And the reason I'm talking about it in the chakra way is because it's really chakras. They're how we communicate with the different dimensions, and it actually, our chakras mirror kind of a lot of other different disciplines of how we reach self-realization, like Abraham Maslow's pyramid of self-actualization. I think he only has like 5 different tiers on that pyramid, but they're similar in what he talks about, similar to what we observe the chakras doing. So are you in a place where you feel like I really want to move forward to my higher path, but right now it just is feeling a bit heavy and a bit weighted down? Does that make some sense to you?
Yes. Mhm. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And are you sometimes finding yourself, do you want to sometimes escape up to just a heaven, like just check out and stay in meditation, or, just try to find some way to just feel that that high expanded feeling because of the weighted down feeling? You're wanting to balance that out?
Yes.
Yeah, you feel like you want to escape.
I get lost sometimes, and I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing or working towards. I feel a lot of times
saying this, that really sounds like you're definitely a medium.
I would bring the light in and I'd see the angels coming down, the guides, and I would, tell them to go. And it was just, I don't even know how it came to me, but I know that someone had told me that I worked with Merlin in one of my past lives.
Oh, wonderful. I love Merlin.
And I had a guide, his name was Arlick, but I don't know if he's still around.
That's beautiful. What did you say that guide's name was?
Arlick.
Arlick. Oh, isn't that lovely? I'm getting chills. You are, you're definitely a very powerful healer, very gifted. I just think that you need to have a little bit of a steady practice, and a daily practice, so that you can raise that vibration, your core vibration, and be reminded how it basically practice does make perfect, even though, again, we need nothing because we're inseparable from divine, but it's more about us having faith. So repetition gives us faith, that we know that we're safe, that we know this is how I feel it, this is where I go. I definitely can feel that you would be, a medium, and very similar, and it's not surprising, like very similar to the kind of stuff that I do, and that's why we're here talking to each other, called the law of attraction.
And I just can't. I have a son that's he's an alcoholic, and I have not been able to help him no matter what I do. And for some reason, it's just telling me I feel like I'm supposed to sit back now and he'll come around, but it's been a while.
Yeah. He has his own free will. So he has this illness that he has, and he has it while, as your son and in your life, because he knows that you can handle it. You can handle him choosing to have an illness. And I mean choosing from the spiritual, standpoint, from like choosing it before he came into this plane. So that too is a great way to practice having your boundaries, praying, being available to him, but having to respect the fact that he has his own free will, and that as he dances with this disease, he's going to receive. He is healing. We are all working toward healing. So even though he's in disease, he's healing, and if that can give you comfort to know that every time that you are aware of his disease, to know that he's actually healing. His soul is showing him this disease as a way to remember his natural state of being healed. Okay. I think I'm doing a class called Open Your Intuition it's online. I think it's the 25th of this month. And I can give you a coupon code. I'd love to give you a coupon code if you message me. Go. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. Check the timing and see if that time would work for you, and I'll give you a coupon code, and I'll give you like 75% off. It's only $20 anyway, but it's just like enough to cover my costs. And so see if the time works for you. I'll post it after I haven't posted on my Facebook in a while. See if that time works for you. And because I'm going to be giving a lot of tips, just called Open Your Intuition, but it's really like raising your vibration. And it's just basically a lot of tips about how to have a daily routine, different things you can try to have a daily routine to raising your vibration and getting your comfortable spiritual practice going. And then I would love for you to check out my friend's website. She's my friend and colleague, and she was actually my teacher for a year and a half or something. And her name is Hillary Michaels. She teaches people, and I think she's starting to do online only. She's wonderful, and she's an empath, and she's a medium, and she helps people to learn how to become a professional medium. And I don't do that. Yeah, she's wonderful. I more am about healing, just emotional healing. But her name is Hillary Michaels. You could look up just medium Hillary Michaels, but her website is happycentric.com. And we're going to be doing a Blog Talk Radio show, and I think we're starting the first Thursday of August. But look into that because she's wonderful, and I learned so much by being. And what's great, what I love about Hillary's teaching, because she's an empath. As an empath, feeling other people's emotions as though they are my own, I would get blocked sometimes when I would do a class because I would feel how the teacher had their specific way they did things, and it worked for them. So then I would think I had to mimic them because I felt it genuinely, and then it wouldn't work. Because I need my own way. I know, isn't it silly? I laugh at how silly we are as empaths sometimes. But Hillary, she's just so good at kind of like helping you foster what you are, what your gifts are. So anyway, I couldn't, and obviously I think she's fantastic and really, really helpful.
Well,
do you have any other questions? Oh, my pleasure. So great to talk to you. Do you have any other questions?
On July 28th, it'll be a year since my mother passed, and my father's been gone 20 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, she had a whole extra lifetime without him.
Yeah,
your mother.
Yeah. Mm. But I'm fighting to try to save her house, and I don't know if that's what they want me to do.
Okay. So your mother kind of stepped up and said, sweetie, you need to do what works for you. I have no use for any of it anymore. It feels like you need to make peace with it and let it go. So know that she has no use for it anymore. Save the memories that bring you joy, if there are any of the physical memories. But if it's a trial for you, it's being a trial for you, that's because you do need to make peace with it and to let it go. And she's happy to assist you in that. Let me just see. So have you been feeling her around you very much? Not very much, probably, right?
Well, and I had asked the question, and I walked away, and I came back, and her angel curio door was open, and there was an angel laying outside on the ground. With on the back of it, it said faith.
Oh, beautiful. I feel like your mother is...
Or my guide left it.
Right. So your mother, to me, she is, she definitely, she crossed over and she's healing, but she's sort of still in her healing process in that she is in some sort of, kind of a deep course study. We do studies and stuff when we're on the other side. So she's sort of in that stage right now. And so that's why you don't feel her a lot, but maybe little things like that. She is coming to you and doing some little help and some little guidance. But she's like, right now I'm just kind of doing some heavy study and really working on myself and taking classes and that kind of thing. And I'm definitely always looking in over you, but she's not spending a lot of time really close to you because she's sort of getting herself, is going through some study, which actually, incidentally, she's saying, which is what you want to do. That's right. What you want to do right now is get yourself into some study so that you can feel like you're ready to go and be someone else's angel and to be someone else's guide, and to remember that. So she's feeling about like maybe a year and a half from now, she's going to get to a place where she feels like she wants to be around you a lot more. And that's just an estimate, you know what I mean? Like that time doesn't exist. Yeah. So that's what it's feeling about like to me right now. But yeah, definitely. And she's popping up and she's just saying, sweetie, I don't need it. And you need to make peace with it. Yeah. Have you ever, is it would you move into the home? Is that something you would consider doing?
I've been living here. Oh,
okay.
But it's just the only thing. I have 3 brothers, and they're all telling me, just sell it, because I have another house that my son's living in that I'm paying for, and I'm just going underwater.
It's too much.
So it's just a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah, it's too much, and so that means let it go. That means let it go. Like I say, save any physical memories that bring you joy, remind you of joy, but let it go, and it's going to be a burden lifted when you do.
All right.
Yeah, do it intelligently. Do it, when the market is right and all that kind of stuff.
Well, the state's trying to take it for her being in a nursing home, so. I was trying to keep it so I could sell it and they could get more inheritance.
Do it as intelligently. Do it as intelligently as possible, but in as relaxed and lacking resistance state as you can. That's probably more. That's most important, is to feel at ease about it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for calling again today. So nice to talk to you. Please stay in touch on the Facebook page. I'll post that that class, and you feel free to message me if it looks like something you'd be interested in doing. I'll send you that coupon code.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Sandy. How do I do it? How do I go? I'm so sorry. I'm still new to it. Oh, there we go. I did it. Okay. Wow. That was beautiful. Let's see. Who else? Who I want to go to next? I am going to pick up here 036 as the last 4 digits of this phone number, 0316.
Hi,
Hello.
Tricia. This is Diane. Thank you very much for taking my call today.
Hi, Diane. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm doing well. I listened to your show yesterday and really enjoyed it. You've got really dynamic energy, and that really impressed me. So I was hoping you might be able to give me some guidance or a reading, whatever you're drawn to do. I'm in a position right now where I'm just going through kind of a dark night of the soul thing. And like I said, I heard your energy, and I thought, I know she could either say something, or maybe it's just the way she says it that I know will help me.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, you're such a blessing to me. I'm getting those Holy Spirit shivers again because you're such a blessing. And the first thing I heard as you were saying this is, this too shall pass. It feels very much like what you're, okay, so I'm getting this visual of you being this big, strong, and vibrant and bright being, and then there's just this kind of like a little Nerf ball of trouble. And even if it's if I don't mean to diminutize it and make it and tell you that whatever you're going through is no big deal, because I don't know, if something's the size of a Nerf ball and let's say that's a boil, that's a big stinking boil, and that hurts a lot. But,
right.
You know, so if it feels like it's a boil right now, but just see that it is really only the size of like a little tennis ball, and that you're a being that is so much greater and stronger, and that in relation to that, it's nothing at all. And let me just see what's going on here. Wow, you have just like, it's like a chorus, like a choir of just beings, like guides that are showing up behind you, just looking over you. Diane, I feel like, so let me just get some. So you are very, you have this really strong purpose. Like you touch a lot of lives. You do. Does that
really?
make sense to you? I'm sure you don't feel that.
Well,
Is that
I'm
just your
kind
self-esteem?
of a hermit, so that surprises me.
Well, you do. You even when you just go out I feel like I'm a hermit too, by the way. When you go out into the world in any way, anyone that you're talking to, anyone that you are that you're dealing with, you really touch their lives, you impact their lives, and this is also a destiny. So, and that's not to say that if you're more of an introvert and you derive your energy from being inside, that's you're right about that. I'm not trying to take that away from you, and you should definitely honor that. But there is an element of, do you write? Are you a writer? Do you like to write?
Yes, I do write. I've not sold any major project yet, so that's another kind of problem I've had going on.
Okay, so do you have a blog?
Not an active one anymore.
Well, I don't know. So I'm feeling like that writing is a good way for you to do some of that destiny, and you already say, you're already feeling it. So are you feeling a bit like disconnected from it right now? Is that what's going on? Or
a little bit, but it's more health issues, and because of the health issues, I have big financial problems. So I just haven't really felt like doing a lot, and because sometimes, not always, but sometimes blogs and other promotional things can cost money. That's just not an option for me right now.
Okay. Well, by the way, my blog is free. I do it on Weebly, and then you can just promote it on Facebook. So those are some free ways to do it. But, if or when you're ready to do that, those are some free ways that you could do it.
To hear this full episode, subscribe to the Charmed Radio podcast on iTunes. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.